All right, everyone, welcome back for week 20, last episode of the season. And we kind of got to do a little recap synopsis before we actually get started with anything. So last week we had our best week ever. We were 15-3, and we got a gained back 12 units on the board. Um, as far as lineage is concerned, at the end of the season, Jamie was winning by 15 picks. I finally got a chance to update the futures, and Stone had four futures that could have hit, came within the last like a game's worth of production. He could have hit four futures. Jamie hit two. Stone only hit one of those four. And so Jamie's lead grew to 16. In order for it to still be a competition, Stone would have had to have gone 7-0, and Jamie would have had to have gone 0-7. So really, he was one pick in the next 2 weeks from winning. Stone put up a valiant fight. He was 6-1, but Jamie also had a crazy good week, and he was 6-1, and so his lead is 16, and it is now officially mathematically impossible for anybody to catch him in the group. And so, even though we're gonna do it for the record this week, Jamie is our official 2023-2024 champion. Congratulations, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hard fought season. And I would like to say I put the juju on myself last week. I'm going to do it again this week. Going to be great set of picks.
All right, Stone, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I just missed. I missed last week's episode, so I'm glad to be back. I killed it last week. I was one pick away from going 7-0. The Cowboys suck.
Yeah, that is a case. Yeah, we had a great week last week, best week of the season, and so this week, as far as like planning out how the whole competition was working, this was going to be, but should have been if it was a competitive season, a very challenging or exciting week because there's only four games. We're each going to have a handful of picks, and there should be a lot of sniping, a lot of things that go one way or the other. And if it was close or if it was still competitive, things could flip pretty quick with that. Um, but that won't be the case, so we'll have a little bit of fun with it, and we'll just go over to the game side of this, where Stone's going to get us started. He'll have 6 picks. I get 3 because just based off units, and then Jamie has 4 at the end. And so, Stone, whenever you're ready.
All right, I'm gonna start off with the one game that's in a dome this week.
Mm.
Every other game is outside. Every other game is projected to be cold, very cold, or rainy. So I'm
Mm.
gonna go with Tampa Bay versus Detroit in the dome over 49.5 points at -108.
Yeah, I have this one. This is going to be like on the fly here. I got my draft up because I already know there's going to be some adjustments that's going to be taken. I like that one as well.
Yeah, I'm expecting some adjustments as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna break off a little piece of that. And my first pick is gonna be Tampa Bay over 20 and a half team total, and that's at -125. That's the line on their team total this week. Um, they are in a dome, and it seems every week that um, the Lions defense seems to give up pretty good numbers to opposing quarterbacks. That's been going back the last 5 or 6 weeks. First time I really noticed was when they played the Saints a while ago. Um, so yeah, I'm expecting this to be high scoring, 3 touchdowns. Baker had 3 touchdowns on his own last week. Over 20 and a half. All right. Jamie?
I'm going to do the 49ers and Green Bay under 51 total, -112. Talk about outdoor stadiums. I also just don't think Green Bay can do the same thing they did last week twice, especially against this 49ers defense. I'm going to talk about it a lot in this episode, but like I don't like young quarterbacks going against great defenses. CJ Stroud did a great job last week versus the Browns, but I'm going to hammer this. I'm going to keep on that thread. If they do it, then they do it, but I don't think it happens. So
Yeah, this was going to be
All
my
right.
next pick because that game is projected to be raining. So just another one of those like rainy quarterbacks, not great. Under 51. 51 seems really high. For this next one, I'm going with another points total for a game. Baltimore versus Houston over 43.5 at -115. It's supposed to be very cold, but I don't think as cold as like we saw last week with like the Chiefs Miami game. But Baltimore is really good at home. Houston's shown they can put up points against really good defenses, and I think it'll be a high-scoring game, even if Baltimore does manage to cover whatever their spread is.
Yeah, I had this one on my card. It was actually going to be my first one, but I thought that maybe someone would snipe the Bucks over, so I took it after the first pick. So now I regret not taking it first. So I had this one in my if everything else fails, pull this one out from the backup, and I'm going to take Kansas City money line. I don't love them this season, but I do think that the Bills have been riding high for a while, and I think I'll take Patrick Mahomes with positive money and see what kind of magic happens at the end of that game. Plus 125. I think they're actually +3 or +2.5 right now. So could also take the points, but I'm trying to get some units back on the last week.
Yeah, so I mean, you just mentioned it. I'm going to take the points. I'm going to take, not the points you're thinking of. I'm going to take the over, 45 at -110. I think last time these guys played in the playoffs, they combined for 6 total touchdowns. I mean, normally it's a shootout. The Buffalo Bills defense has a lot of people injured. Kansas City just played well in some cold weather. I think barring it actually having snow on the stadium, in the field, they're going to light it up again.
All right, this next one I'm gonna take Detroit -6 at -108. Um, I'm kind of rooting for Detroit. I think a lot of the country is rooting for Detroit right now. They're at home. Tampa Bay, they look good against the Eagles, but the Eagles were literally like not even trying, it looked like. So I think Detroit at home, there's a lot of hype around them right now, and I think they could. Tampa Bay coming into the playoffs, like they had to win against Carolina, and they like put up like I forgot what the score was, but it was like just a miserable game. Like you would think they would do better than that. And I think Tampa Bay doesn't scare me as much, even though Baker Mayfield's look good. I still think Detroit's a much better team, and especially by a touchdown.
Yeah, there was now the what I'm using maybe is different than what you're using, but there was like a crazy line shift this morning that came in, and I just maybe it's this one, and it had the Lions at -10 at +110 as the spread. Now I think that could just be an error, but I didn't know if there any additional news came out for that game, so I was gonna stay away from it because I was like, that's kind of crazy for it to balloon like 4 points overnight. But maybe I'm
Yeah, DraftKings has it at -6, like as of right
okay.
now. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
DraftKings for Detroit at 10 is +172.
Oh, geez, yeah. Okay, I'll stay away. Maybe I'll take those points right now. I don't know. Anyway, but okay, sweet. Then nothing crazy happened. I was like worried that some like crazy news would come out, like Baker broke his leg on the plane or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to take a similar approach that I did with my Tampa Bay pick. I'm going to pick an underdog, and normally their team totals aren't very high. Green Bay's been scoring points, so I'm going to take the Green Bay over 19.5 team total. That is also at -125. A little chalky this week, but I wanted to try to pick things that I didn't think were going to get like sniped right off the board, so I'd have to like, be in my phone the whole time. So yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Didn't necessarily check the weather. Maybe that's why I suck, but that's all right. Jamie, what do you got next?
I'm going to take the Tampa Bay's team total. They're under 21 points.
Okay. Go ahead.
-108.
All right.
I don't think they got. Like I said,
They ain't got it like that.
the Eagles defense is really bad, like really really bad. That's why they went like 1-7 the last 8 weeks. So I think they're showing out against a terrible defense, and I think the Detroit, they played the Rams pretty well defensively, so I think they shut Baker down.
All right.
All right, my next one, I'm going. This one might seem a little crazy, but I'm kind of like basing out last week's performance where the Green Bay Packers went into Dallas and
Ooh.
absolutely destroyed them. It's supposed to be a wet weather game, could keep the scoring down, so it could be more my favorite for the spread, but I'm going Green Bay plus 10 at minus 115.
Love it. Love it. I thought you were gonna go money line to give us
Oh, that would
something
be that would be
crazy.
a little bit too crazy for me. I think
I
I
was,
think
I
All
was
right.
I think San Francisco still wins this game. I just think Green Bay impressed me last week, and I think Matt LaFleur is a good coach. They're a young team. They're starting to figure stuff out. So I think their defense is pretty good too. So
They couldn't figure out how to get Reed one catch last week, but they did figure
they
some
didn't he
stuff
didn't need
out.
they didn't need to give it to him. Like they literally
Yeah.
didn't need him.
everybody else was so wide open, Connor. I mean,
Yeah, you're right about that. Everyone else is so wide open, they didn't even have to worry about it.
I didn't see the
All
all
right.
20 have been double.
All right. Last pick, Jamie.
I am just going for some chalky chalk. I mean,
Okay.
Ravens minus 9.5. I think they crushed the Texans, so that's at minus. And it's not like super chalk, but
No, that's normal.
the spread is a lot.
Yeah. Got
But
a lot of numbers.
a lot of numbers. Like I said, I don't have any faith in young QBs, good defenses. This is one of the Ravens' better defenses in recent years, and they're going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, see, I need my board to start looking like this, where there's some unders, some overs. Like you give yourself a chance. I'm just a straight over on every.
Yeah.
Some under player picks that I did some
Yeah,
unders that they hit.
yeah. All right, Stone. Whenever you're ready.
All right, so I got one more lined up that I already had written down, but I'm gonna have to take a
Mm-hmm.
look at and try and find something because there's not much left.
Yeah.
Because Jamie just took my Baltimore line. But I'm going against you, Connor, with Buffalo minus 2.5 at minus 120, which is a lot of chalk for sure. But I think Buffalo. I had KC money line and this line on my sheet, and I was gonna take whatever one got picked first. I was gonna take the
Mm-hmm.
opposite. I think this game could go either way. I don't feel confident about either one, but I could see both sides. I could see Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes figuring it out and getting the W, or I can see Buffalo continuing their streak and especially at home and taking the points. So that's kind of where I am with that. And then let me let me find a line somewhere.
Do some research, quick
There's got
research.
to be a game we haven't hit. We hit all the
We
games.
hit all the games.
Yeah.
Capitals.
Can we maybe do player picks and then we can come back?
Yeah, we come back. There, got the last pick anyway. It's also not, you know. All right. So for player picks, we're gonna get. Why do I think this is erroneous? Nope, that's right. Okay, so we're gonna get Jamie with 5 on the first pick, Stone with 3 on the second pick, and then I have 2 with the final pick. So, Jamie, get us started.
All right, on my line of quarterbacks that here is actual chalk. Quarterbacks I don't think can get it done. DJ Stroud under 21.5 completions. That's at minus 130. Baltimore defense, like I said, rookie QB. He's actually only completed 21 or more in 5 of his last 14 games. 9 out of the last 14, he's gone under this line.
He just makes long passes, so
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Bombs, I think Ravens going to be running a lot too, so less time to pass the belt.
All right, I like him.
Am I up
Stone,
or is it you?
you're up
Okay,
on the player side.
I'm actually going to this game as well, the Baltimore game.
Okay.
I'm taking Lamar Jackson over 1.5 touchdown passes at plus 100. Um, Looking at Lamar Jackson's home versus road splits, he is vastly better at home, and I think he'll get it done today.
I like that. That'll cause me to go into my list here and take one that I also think. No, actually, it won't. I'll save that one for later because it's just a different number. I'm going to take Josh Allen. Josh Allen has just been running the ball at all chance he gets. Like this whole time they've been winning, he's been scrambling, gaining yards, and his total has just kept going up, 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 up. His total today is 42.5 rushing, and that does not scare me based off of how often he actually gets out of there. I'm going minus 115 on that. I think he will get, a lot of rushes. I even think if you went over on carries, that wouldn't be a crazy bet, but 42.5 does not scare me, especially if things I'm expecting maybe this game gets a little unhinged. And if that happens, you would expect him to be scrambling all over the place. So there's that. All right. Jamie?
I am going to go with Jordan Love over 8.5 rushing yards at minus 20. I think from a personal standpoint, I've watched Chase Young overplay quarterbacks all the time and let an easy run. And this all it takes is one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to be under pressure, scrambles once. Hopefully doesn't take too many sacks.
I agree. But the NFL doesn't count sack yardage.
Does it not?
Rushing. No, college does. The NFL doesn't. So
okay, well, never mind then. Take as many sacks as you want, buddy.
I think they do count kneel yardage though.
Count kneel
yeah.
downs.
So
Well,
if that,
I don't have them winning. Don't worry about that.
oh, okay. Well,
they should. A little note on that. They should put the backup quarterback for those kneel downs every time. I don't.
Oh wow.
I feel
I
like
think there's more of it.
He could fumble it.
It's a back.
No.
It's a backup quarterback. They know what they're doing.
It's more of like morale. Like you led them to the victory. You go out there in victory formation with your team, and you get the W.
Yeah, but
like,
then
it's
you
like
end up like I remember when Tom Brady hit 1,000 total rushing yards on his career, and on the kneel downs he would fall forward, so he wouldn't get minus yards, so he would stay above 1,000. So I think it is a real stat, and I think it should really, I don't know, whatever. It's
no, I agree,
matter.
but the fact that in college they take away sack yardage, which means you could run for 80 yards of positive rushing, get sacked for 81 yards, and be -1. It's just crazy. But anyway,
people like Sam Howell would be negative hundreds of yards this season.
Negative hundreds of yards.
All right. Next one. Tampa Bay's pass defense has been pretty bad all season. And Jared Goff, another home road split. He's exceptionally good at home compared to away. So I think I'm going to take Jared Goff's over 200. It's 278.5 yards at -115. It's a lot, but I think I took the over on this game, and I think Jared Goff will be slinging it.
He will be slinging it, but that's a lot. You could be slinging it and still not
That's
hit
true.
that number.
That's very true.
All right, so the one I was going to go off of the previous Lamar pick is I'm going quarterbacks rushing. I think these guys have an extra skill set that they unlock on the games that actually matter, and I'm going to take Lamar Jackson over 52.5 rushing. And I know that's a lot of rushing for a QB, especially if they're winning. They're not going to be really risking it, but I like to unlock those QBs running in the playoffs, especially when it's a real asset to the team. And so I'm taking that one.
I think it's kind of the opposite with Baltimore. They will run with Lamar if they're up. They run that read option. If they close down on that read option, Lamar will take.
Yeah, I look. I like it. I'm taking it. That's what I'm doing. I think he'll hit it. I think that they're not gonna. They got to win 2 games. Wait, never mind. Forget what I said. All right, Jamie, your turn.
This is a hell of a podcast today. I with go back to my running backs picks that got me the championship belt.
Mm.
I'm McCaffrey's over at 91.5 rushing yards. It's a lot. It's at minus 115. But I just want to remind everyone before Green Bay got into the playoffs, they had the 28th ranked rush defense. I think Dallas just crapped the bed. 49ers, that run defense is going to come at you, or that run offense is going to come at you. Trent Williams, Kyle Juszczyk, big boys.
Yeah, let's not pretend that Dallas isn't fake in that what Green Bay did last week, although very good, was also not against a team that's been like running up the score against the Commanders and the Giants and some garbage squads and the Eagles. So like, anyway, Stone, last
Alright.
pick of the season.
My last pick, I'm going back to that game where I have over 49.5. I'm going with Mike Evans over 71.5 receiving yards at minus 115. Detroit also has a not great passing defense. That's usually where they give up their yards, is passing yards, and I think Mike Evans will get all. Mike Evans is one of those guys where it's like one big play, and he's got most of that. So
Yeah, I agree. He's had a great season this year, and when they need something, they give him a chance. Not like some of these other guys that they'll just throw to someone else. They will actually give him a chance. All right, Jamie, this is where you close up shop for us. Two more picks on the player side.
2 more picks on the player side. All right, so my first one is going to be a Kelsey anytime TD, Travis Kelsey, and that's plus 115. I'm going to get some
Love it
for my chalky picks. Kind of underperforming lately, and like I said, I think the Bills and the Chiefs, they normally blow it up in the playoffs. So I think one of them just got to go to Kelsey. And for my final pick, I don't know. I've been playing around with a lot. I'm looking at a couple of these, and I like what Stone was talking about, the Detroit game, and I'm going to go with Amon-Ra over 7.5 receptions, and that's at minus 125.
I can't type right now. People watch me type all day long, and I still can't get it right. Minus 125. Got it. All right.
Yeah,
So for the Kelsey one, I love it because even though he's having a bad season, you normally got to pay like minus 160, minus 150 to get a touchdown from him. Now there's a reason it's a positive, but I'll take positive on like their best receiving asset, even if he's not playing well. Did anyone have any honorable mentions on this side? There's a little bit more variety here, so it's like worth.
I was also looking at Amon-Ra's reception yards. I think it was at 91 or something. I didn't want to tie up my Goff and Amon-Ra in the same pick. So
yeah, I feel that. Don't double up. I watched. They actually know how to get the ball to their best players. And let me rant about the Commanders one more time. Is you have a all-pro wide receiver, you throw him the ball. It might be a screen pass. That's what they do. Sometimes they give Amon-Ra like 3 straight screen passes. Get the ball in his hands. Let him do his work. Someone knows how to do it. Detroit does. Other than that, I had Singletary's under against the Rams. They got a tough rush defense. And Rice for Kansas City over on his 68.5 receiving yards were my other options.
Yeah, I had 2 that I thought were low, but then you guys told me the weather. That's probably why they're low. Likely for the Baltimore Ravens, 36.5 receiving. Schultz, same game. Schultz, both tight ends. For Houston, 32.5. That's kind of low for that. I thought those were low for tight ends. You could see things in the 40s, even low 50s. And for guys that are part of their offense like that, I thought that was low, but maybe it's because of the weather. Sweet.
All right, and then I
So,
got my last game pick if
oh
we
yeah.
want to go back there.
Oh
There we go.
yeah. Good call. Good call. I would have forgot.
All right, so since Jamie sniped my under game total for San Francisco versus Green Bay, I'm gonna go with San Francisco team total under 30.5 at plus 102.
That's a ton.
Yeah.
30.5.
Yep. Well, the over under is 51, so and San Francisco are like 10-point favorites, so I guess it makes sense. But 30 and a
hmm
half, if it's raining, I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points, just period. But these are good teams. All right. Last touchdown parlay of the week. We didn't hit the one from last week. Jamie's the only player that actually got in the end zone. In general, on the season, if we hit this, we're positive, and if we hit this, we're 50% on all of our picks. Because of those things, I want to hit it, but I also want to throw like crazy stuff at the wall because it's the last one. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Can you, Mr. Board, is
Yeah.
Gus up on the board?
I don't
Say
think
that
he
again. I
is.
just
I
didn't
don't
hear
think he
you.
is because that was going to be my pick, and I double checked.
Gus Edwards, he's at plus 110.
That was going to be
Yeah, I
mine.
think Edwards, I don't think is on the board.
All right, since
Plus 110.
yeah, that's what it is. Since I just got sniped on that, I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones at plus 100.
Oh,
I'm
See,
pretty
those,
sure I don't think he's on there because I looked for him too, but we can double check.
okay. And this is one that I was gonna save, and I don't see him on the board. And now I gotta look it up. What I was gonna do, I won't do. I'll tell you what I was gonna do afterwards. All right, they just fixed the line back to 6.5 on the Lions. Just FYI, going crazy. I don't think Josh Allen has been picked,
Oh, I don't think I
and
like
so I'm
that.
going to take
That's really
Josh
good.
Allen. And we worried about running out of players, but I could say that we did not run out of good players. Now there's a little chalk here, minus 120, but that puts it at plus 670. Those are the ones we hit. All right,
Yeah.
and so with that, that's a pretty good last week of the season.
Yeah.
For that one. So what I was going to do, if we were going to be outrageous with it, is I was going to give a shout out to hometown guy Ty Johnson is plus 500 to get a touchdown. I was going to put him on the pod, but because we are only 1 unit away and we're like right there on everything, yeah, that's how I'm going to leave it. Let me click back over here. So just things that are on the line this week. Stone does have a chance to go over 500 for the season. He has 9 picks. If he hits all 9, he'll be 61-61. And then Jamie can maintain over 500. And then of course I'm like, I'm in the dungeon. I'm not even close, so it doesn't matter. But there is still things worth playing for. Anybody want to say anything before we close it out?
I think this is a really good idea. I had a great time this year picking these games. It definitely every week more interesting. Even if I didn't put money on all my picks, it definitely was. I just wanted to see my guy get his total no matter what. So it was fun to watch teams I wouldn't normally watch because of this whole situation.
And I'm sure you had a lot more fun just because you were winning all year, but
As well, not my picks.
yeah, it's good to I found it was really cool to see like track over the season like how bad I am at actually betting. So if we can improve, we can move for improvements next year.
I thought you were pretty good. I thought you guys did pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it worked out better than I thought. I want to, kind of praise you guys. I figured we would have pretty frequently, we would have only 2 people show up, but we only had 1 episode, and it was because of a weather and flight error that we weren't all here, but we made it to every single episode, or 19 out of 20. And huge round of applause. Congratulations to Jamie. Yeah, I think with the feedback, I think we'll be back next year. We might change a couple things, but I appreciate everyone for joining us this year. I'm always appreciative of everyone's time. Gamble responsibly, and hopefully week 1 next year there's a little bit of a reveal on the first episode for that Jamie Championship that I'm still waiting for something to show up. But okay, with that, I'll just we'll close it out. Thanks for joining us.